Hi, TheSuffolkRam for our nerds. We're on to my review of Doctor Who Series 11, Episode 9, It Takes You Away. There may be some spoilers ahead, so if you don't want anything spoiled for the episode, turn off now. So Doctor and gang arrive in Norway, modern day Norway. They sort of established fairly early on. I thought it was going to be a historical episode looking from the preview material at first, but no, it's modern day Norway. And they very shortly after arriving find a cabin in the woods. And they go and investigate it, and they find inside a very scared blind girl who tells them of terrible monsters in the woods and a missing father. And basically, you think it seems like it's setting up for a Monster of the Week episode, but it's not. It's setting up for a very, very strange episode. So it's a minor spoiler. Not long after they arrive in the cabin, they actually find there's and this is a minorish, semi-minorish spoiler, they find a portal to another world, which begin exploring. And the episode revolves around what this is in this other world, what this other dimension entails, and how it is affecting it, and what threat it poses to the main dimension. Like I say, it's a very strange episode. I unfortunately, I can't quite think of. Well, I suppose the first thing that brought to mind when they go to the universe was the idea of there's a James Pertwee serial called Three Doctors, which is set in a different dimension, different universe. That's all one co-current to our own, and about somebody trying to move between it. And this treads not the same, but similar territory, in that there's another universe with us that we have to deal and strange universe out there. I mean, I felt that they've definitely took some inspiration from the sort of world they go into. I feel like they've took some sort of inspiration from like Stranger Things. I mean, they meet some weird characters in there and so forth, and it's definitely a very strange episode. And how it gets towards the end and concludes is definitely weird. Yeah, it's a really bizarre episode. It's not at all what I was expecting. The big twist, the big thing about the monster is a massive twist around that, which I won't reveal, and it twists and turns quite a lot towards the end. There are some bits that quite early on flag that something isn't right, which comes through quite late on. But it is it's a very, I think actually one of the most enjoyable episodes of the season so far. It's different enough. It doesn't feel like it's treading quite the same formulas that we've seen too much in previous episodes and seasons. It feels its own entity. It definitely feels it's not. It almost doesn't feel like a Doctor Who episode. It just sort of sticks out. I think the last episode I felt stuck out like you wouldn't think a Doctor Who episode so much was the I think it was the Time Heist, I believe, the Peter Capaldi where they go to this bank and they have to rob a bank. I vaguely think that sort of episode felt very strange and very out of it, very Farscapey episode. This one, it's not Farscapey, but it definitely doesn't feel like a normal Doctor Who episode, and I enjoyed it. I absolutely was hooked into it, and as sort of some slightly obvious things happen, but in general, as it goes through, it's interesting, and we learn some more interesting lore about the Whoverse and some other parts that go with it. And yeah, it's really strange done. So actually, I really enjoyed this episode. Really good. So on to cast and characters. So I won't talk too much about the main cast because, well, to be honest, nothing really much happens to the main cast. There's only the four of them. There's no real major character development with those. So apart from one minor bit of Graham and Ryan towards the end, which I won't go on to that. So it's not worth talking about them in this episode. But side characters now. Second warning. Talk about the side characters. I'm going to spoil some bits of the episode. So here's your second warning to get out where you can. And minor spoilers ahead. So we'll first talk about Hanny, played by Ellie Warwick. She's the blind girl in the cabin, and she's actually a blind actress, and she does a fairly okay job. I mean, I didn't have a lot of chance to look into her, to be fair, find her background. I don't think she's Norwegian, but she has to do a bit of an accent in this, and if she isn't Norwegian, she's done the best she can do, probably better than I would ever do. She's quite fine. She's sort of the main side character of the episode. She's always the driving force that instigates everything, and trying to resolve things for her is what goes on. So she's pretty darn good. Other side characters, well, these don't appear till quite late in, but we have Kevin Eden, who plays a character called Ribbons, who is to do with the other world, and he plays this really strange, very hammy alien creature, something, who really sort of hams up a thing. Yeah, he's definitely sort of large life, and it just adds to the strangeness. His behaviour style, and he's this sleazy sort of creature. Really works quite well. He's not in it for the whole long time, but he's in it. We've also got Christian Rubeck, who plays Hanny's father, Eric. He appears quite late on. And he's obviously a sort of driving force, and he's part also causing what's going on, and part of the reason, not directly what's going on, but he's related to it. And he only has very brief screen time, but when he's there, he's pretty darn brief, and he's quite a horrible father actually, but he's there. Then we also have Lisa Stocky as Trine, who's his wife, who again appears quite briefly, but she's having a major part in the episode, shall we say. There's another character in here who isn't listed in the credits, and I'm not going to say who it is, but they are, again, quite reasonably significant to the episode, and again tie into it somewhat, and also cause some tension, some dilemma amongst one of our regulars. So that's the cast and crew. I say the cast and crew in it are actually pretty fun, they're pretty good. It's a small team, and that usually works quite well. So production, directed by Jamie Childs, who also directed Demons in the Punjab and The One Who Fell to Earth. He seems to be getting, he's got the penultimate episode, and he got the starting episode as well. So he seems to be getting some of the important roles. Now, direction-wise, seems to do a pretty good job. Now, there's some weird camera trick here which seems to happen, and I might have imagined this. They go to the other world, and it seems to be that the camera's ever so slightly blurred, like you're getting like a bit of almost like a roller shutter effect almost. But I think I might be imagining it because it didn't seem to be there all the time. So I think that's my imagination, but it definitely felt like something. It could just be the way it's there was also steam and smoke there. Perhaps it was that causing the effect. But something strange was going on there. But as to the episodes, I mean, there's very little. There is some CGI moments and some very well done actually CGI moments. Some CGI creatures in there, and they are done, I think, very, very well. Other than that, there's only some pretty basic CGI, like morphing through the dimensional portal, which is quite nicely done. But yeah, I thought actually effect-wise it's pretty damn good. The episode is written by Ed Heim, whose previous credits is, at least according to IMDb, is Skins, the early 2000s. I never watched it, but I honestly, I think it was a drama about people taking lots of drugs and getting drunk, and basically students and all sorts. I never watched it. I only got that from the trailers and a few pictures I saw on Radio Times, so I've no idea if it's true. That's what I thought it was about. That's it. His previous career is that. So, not but he might have. I don't know if he's done anything else, but not according to IMDb, he hasn't. So perhaps he is. But I think he's really a very nice episode. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very. It's twisted and turned enough. What I was expecting it at the early start, and because I'm so used to Doctor Who, where in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, you know the episode's going to be about, and you don't necessarily know how it's going to get to A to Z, but you know it's going to get to Z, and you know the route it's going to take roughly. This episode doesn't do that. This episode somehow jumps from A to Z and goes to A to 6. It really just jumps off and goes a completely different way. So it has almost a couple of moments like that. Really, I thought that was really well done. Actually one of the better recent episodes of the season so far. If not, definitely one of the better, if not the best episode we're in so far. I don't think any episodes really sort of jumped up there as really decent. That's good. So production I actually think is pretty darn good this episode. I really like the locations as well. Beautiful place. I don't know whether they actually went to Norway to film it, or if it's just all green screen backdrops and matte paintings and all, But it was good. Wherever they did it, it was very nice. Beautiful place. I would love to go there. I'd love to stay in the cabin. It's quite nice without the monster. But it was good. So yeah, production very good. So my final thoughts on this episode. I would say this is one of the better episodes of the season. We haven't had a great season of episodes, if I'm honest. There's been a lot of episodes that I've enjoyed, but they've been very mediocre. Nothing's really stood out so far this season. This episode is one of the more better ones. It definitely stands out as a lot more interesting, tries something a bit different, and it works. So yeah, this has got to be one of the better episodes of the season so far. I don't think we've had any, apart from a couple of episodes which weren't great. We haven't had any really particularly terrible this season, but overall this episode's one of the better ones. So yeah, really enjoy this episode. So very much for watching up the TheSuffolkRam. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please like and subscribe to our channel. I will also do reviews on next week's as well. I'm also at some point thinking of deciding maybe I might go back and do some of the classic series, perhaps give us some of the older episodes and review them. But I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. So, very much for watching. I'm TheSuffolkRam. Please, I look forward to seeing you next week. And if you have enjoyed us, please look out for some other stuff we do on here. So until next week, see you later.